Well, hello again. Here we are for another Fireside chat. I'm filming this one on Palm Sunday morning. I'm just about to offer Mass here at the rectory and then head over to the parish to assist with the food and diaper drive that we've been doing on Sundays. So I just want to start by thanking, one, those who've been volunteering for that, mostly our Knights of Columbus, and then also anybody who's been able to drop off some food or diapers. We know that lots of food pantries and other care centers have been pretty active in their assistance at this time, and so it's good for us to do what little we can. Of course, don't make any unnecessary trips to the grocery or even on Sundays to come and drop these things off, but if you're able to, maybe pick something up extra if you're at the store anyway, and any help you can give us there is greatly appreciated. It's a really weird Palm Sunday, right? I guess that could be the theme of these fireside chats, is me acknowledging that whatever it is we're experiencing is a little bit weird. It's going to be strange not handing out palms. These are one of the days that we will chuckle about in the church, that we get some extra people showing up because we're giving away something free, right? Just like on Ash Wednesday, people need their ashes, people need their palms. But putting the palms in your homes on Palm Sunday is something we probably can remember doing every year for the majority of our lives, of tucking them carefully behind the crucifix that maybe hangs in your bedroom. And it seems so strange. It seems almost unreal that we will be celebrating Palm Sunday without that very tactile experience, that very physical reminder of what it was we celebrated today. And I think that's a very hard thing for us to deal with. It's a really weird way to start the beginning of Holy Week. And I've always loved Holy Week. It's the week that we've been building towards the entire liturgical year. And then everything else we do after this will kind of harken back to the days and events that we celebrated this week. Even as a child, I loved going to the liturgies of Holy Week because they were so different. We did things in a different, more solemn way. Maybe those were a little bit of the seeds that the Lord is planting in my heart to one day call me to be a priest. But I always loved Holy Week. But as a child, I often imagined our Lord during Holy Week as just kind of shrugging his shoulders and saying, well, I guess if this is what the Lord has asked me to do, then that's what I'm going to do. And I think, maybe I was misunderstanding what the prophet Isaiah spoke about when he described our Lord as being like a lamb led to the slaughter. A little lamb is not deciding to go to slaughter all on its own. It's being led. It's passive in that regard. But our Lord was never passive in his passion. At every moment of every step of the way, from today, his entry into Jerusalem, to what he does at the Last Supper, to how he behaves in the garden, to the defense he gives before the Sanhedrin, to rejecting the offers of Pontius Pilate to maybe get out of what is about to happen to him. Our Lord is definitively choosing and acting in such a way that he will end up on the cross for us. He is always active. He is never passive in anything that's happening to him. And I think that might be a temptation for us this Holy Week, is that since we can't be at church experiencing these liturgies in the way that we are accustomed to, we will find ourselves sort of falling into a very passive participation in our faith this Holy Week. Lots of videos are going to be posted this week. I'm going to be posting lots of videos this week. I'll post one on Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, and of course on Easter Sunday. Little talks to help us remember what is going on. Our diocese is putting on a parish mission on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and the Bishop Brennan, will be live streaming all of the Holy Week liturgies from the cathedral. And I encourage you to take in as much of that as you can. As much of that is helpful. But I also want us to remember that our faith is not a video that we can turn on and check a box with. And really, these videos are more like the palms that we hang behind the crucifixes in our homes. They're a reminder. There's something to help us in our true practice of the faith, that active practice of our faith, which really fundamentally hasn't changed, despite the fact that we can't go to church and celebrate the way that we are accustomed to. Because though we need to go to church and we need to experience our faith primarily through the practice of the sacraments, that's just a brief moment in our practice of the faith. The true practice of the faith is how we live our lives, of how we live our lives in our homes and at work and in everything that we do, how we resist temptation and strive to live a virtuous life. That's something that requires us to be active, and is something that we can still be very active in. Mostly, I encourage us to, these days during Holy Week, to find moments where we really do unplug, and we ourselves are the masters of our prayer, where we're engaged in praying the rosary, or perhaps reading one of the passions from the Gospels ourselves. These are the things that we can do now to maintain our active practice of the faith that will help us to be ready when we are to return, when we're allowed to return to celebrating our faith together. Again, I want you to know that I am certainly praying for you all, most particularly during this Holy Week. And let us hold one another in prayer, that as soon as it is possible for us, we may return together and celebrate the Lord's resurrection, which always gives us hope, even in these strange and, at times, very difficult moments. May God bless you all.